Hi there, welcome to the third and final video that we are doing to justify this figure here, 18,500, generating this figure here, 350 million, over 10 years, creating 4,084 networks. We have already looked at the non-investment plan in some detail, where we are creating 10 websites at a value of $1 million and selling them for $50,000, hopefully to Pam Golding. And we hope them to make a very successful business, get lots of property mandates, make lots of money. Okay, let's go straight into it. Here we see, whoops, wrong spreadsheet. Here we go. Welcome to the Villa Secret spreadsheet system. Same as last time, we follow the tabs at the bottom. Hundreds of variables on this one. Below we can see Villa Secret's pre-tax 10-year profits at $327 million. Whilst this spreadsheet displays, this page displays in US dollars, the rest of the spreadsheet is done in GBP, British pound. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. It says here we're starting with 10 networks in the first year, and the income is going to be 121,000, which is a lot less than we saw one set of 4 would make in the last video, because we haven't factored in the size of the network, because we can't do that for 484 different networks. We've just basically said they're all the same size. We can see immediately, first year 4 million down, second year 8 million down, third year 9 million down. You know, for a company that's only made $18,000 from its first year, there's no way anyone's going to invest 9 million or even 12 million as is required at the end of this spreadsheet. This basically became just a part of the business plan. Now we've shown a bit of metal in our plan for Pam Golding and the first Villa Secret franchise. If over 2016 we can make a franchise in Cape Town with Pam Golding, maybe one in St. Bart's, maybe one in Hawaii, one in Bali, maybe one in Turks and Chaos. That would be 5, and they would make a lot more than this. So actually, our without investment plan for year 1 is going to make a lot more than the with investment plan that we see here. This plan was written a long time before we developed the content marketing strategy that we now love and live by. Okay, let's just see the all-time profit and loss. Year 5, it starts to make sense. Carries on, carries on, carries on. Year 10, it's significant income as well. Each year after that would just get bigger and bigger and bigger. We are not exclusive to 4,000 networks. I live in Epsom in Surrey. Epsom could have its own network. Why not? There's certainly more than about 50 houses worth letting here. And in Surrey, there's probably about 30, 40 different towns that could equally do that. So, that's just one little county in England. You could have 50 different networks. And inside of each one, you could have 5 competing networks. So, you could have 250 inside of just Surrey. It's a plan to take over all of real estate and all of letting. Basically, that's what American Butterfly is. Taking over everything, networking everything. We even wrote a film in case people thought we were going to do a Skynet. More on that in another chapter. Okay, let's move on. I advise that you watch the previous video before you see this one, because we've already been through this, although the figures are different. Okay, we see the average booking for Cape Town Luxury Villas, our prototype company, in their first year was $820 per night. Cape Town Luxury Villas paid 25% of its turnover to Villa Secrets, equal to just under a 4% franchise fee. On this page, we see two variables that can be adjusted in grey. Note, in the first field, we are deducting 30%. So we input 70%, which is 30% deducted by 100%. 100% needs to be input, because that means the status quo in calculations continues. In the second field, we add 15%. So we are deducting 33% here, because we are concerned that international commissions are 10% as opposed to our 20%, certainly when we first start, and certainly if we're working with a large PMS, property management system, that is, not the unfortunate pain that happens to women. Okay. Cape Town Luxury Villas spent 15% of its marketing on turnover. Others will spend 25%. So we've added 15% there. One could argue that should be a lot more. This adds up to $9,460 per year. We'll use this as the starting point. And there's some figures down here that sort of justify that. But, we don't need to look at that. Okay, we've seen this in the previous video. It's exactly the same. Cost to advertise in Cape Town, $8.73. Average cost, rest of the world, France, $2.70. Bahamas, $2.38. Algarve, $5.65. Corfu, $6.72. Miami, $1.91. Hawaii, $2.76. We can afford to be number one in AdWords anywhere. We are experts at AdWords. I might even say I am an expert at AdWords. I've been doing AdWords since 2002. Our competitors think we spend a lot more than we spend. Our actual bill is little more than $1,000 a month, and yet we seem to be number one or number three in the case of Cape Town Luxury Villas as opposed to Cape Villas for most searches. There's tricks to this that I'm not going to tell anybody. Okay, what's this page? This page, again, we've seen this before, but this time slightly different. Here, 60% increase because we're advertising at number one, not number three in Google AdWords. 25% increase because Villa Secrets will be advertised in position 2 in Google, and whoever gets the inquiries for the network in that location gets the Villa Secrets inquiries. Superior domain name and branding, ATOL bonding, ATOL license, other international standards. We are already worked on this quite successfully. We're not ABTA, we went with a big one. ASTA, the American Society of Travel Agents, and we are with the British government ombudsman people, PRS, Property Redress Scheme. It's much the same as we've seen before. Again, sales and admin tools, live chat, that should be a lot more. In fact, I remember now I didn't go back and add the amount that would be increased because of live chat and content marketing, which I believe is going to triple the figures. So whatever figures you saw in the last video, triple them. Okay, we'll try and work this in at the end if I can remember, but then it's just going to interfere with the law of diminishing returns. So actually, I wrote. Let's just say, you know, let's just say these figures are very, very, very credible because we haven't included the 100% increase we're going to get due to live chat and the 100% increase we're going to get due to content marketing and social networks. Okay, year 1, year 2, year 3. Okay, we've seen this page before. HomeAway's selection of villas that cost over $1,000 per night, which created the network. 93 strong networks, 127 medium networks, 143 small networks, of which I think Surrey might be one, and as I've just explained, there could be 250. Where's the UK? This is by GDP, so the England, France, well, that's not, where's England, UK, there's the UK. Yeah, look, Surrey isn't even mentioned in here. Surrey, where there could be 250 networks, isn't even big enough to register as a small network. And if you look, Japan is a small network. Germany is a small network. These are not small networks. They just didn't have a lot of villas over, you know, this just means they're not using HomeAway. It doesn't mean they don't have any houses to rent or sell. Domain names, we've budgeted in the investment model 2 million for the purchase of the best domain names. Here are some that we've got. GermanyVillas.com to mention Germany. VillasandBarts.com, CaribbeanVillas.rentals. We've now got luxury. We've got a lot more than this now. This was taken a while ago. Okay, here's where it gets slightly complex. This, in the last video, only had 3 fields on it because we were only dealing with one network for 5 years. This is dealing with many networks for 10 years. We have primary network. That would be the Pam Golding. Then we have medium primary network. That would be what is this? Let me have a little read up here. Let me read it as it comes. On this spreadsheet, we take the figures we estimated a new network will generate from the previous spreadsheets. Then we add 10% a year from year 4, see that here and here, for the increased brand awareness and additional improvements to the framework and marketing platform. In addition, we adjust down for the size of the networks. Medium networks generate only 60% and small networks generate only 30%. Okay, that is relating to this strong, medium, small. That's the difference there. Lastly, we factor in the effect of creating 5 different networks in each location. The 5th small network is predicted to only make 7.5% of the large primary network. This figure is probably too low, but we have taken a cautious approach. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th networks will in addition focus on different keywords: property, real estate, apartments, vacation rentals, holiday homes. All the percentages on this page are variables that can be adjusted. You can go through this. If you think that's going to make 120% that year, that's changed that every single, that's changed every single thing on the spreadsheet. Let's have a look at it over 10 years. See each one increasing by 10%. And let's have a look We have large network, medium network, small network, first of monthly revenue for a large network. Then we go the large network, second one, large network, sorry, monthly revenue for a large local network. Okay. The primary network is number 1. This is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, this is number 5. So when it says large fourth local, that's it. Yeah, okay. The primary network is supposed to, the idea was that the primary network would deal with all the finances for all the networks underneath it, and be the main telephone call center. And then after you had a primary network, you created a large local network, secondary large local network, third large local network, fourth large network. And then you do the same for mediums, and then you do the same for smalls. Okay. And you see we're not predicting much money being made from these chaps, but I think that's monthly. That's going to make a lot more than that. You know, this is wildly underestimating. Okay, now we get into the next spreadsheet. This is where we plan it over time. This spreadsheet uses network figures created thus far multiplied by the amount of networks created over 10 years. It provides the number of networks that will be operational each year. It accounts for VAT, financial bonding, and if Virgin Holidays can make their ideal ABTA and ATOL membership, albeit we don't need ABTA, now we are ASTA, American Society of Travel Agents. Largest body in the world. Okay, here we see year 1, one network creating 2,300. Then you get to 2, that figure doubles. Then you get to 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. Move. If we look right at the bottom, we can see there the bonding's taken care of, the VAT is taken care of. Move along. The more networks there are, that figure just times is by that, and that's your figure. And this carries on until we get to 93. After that, that's it. They're all built. That figure doesn't extend, and we start making secondary networks in the primary locations. And you can see there we build all of our. Oh no. Then we build the medium networks, medium prime networks, and you see they're built there. Then we start building secondary networks in the prime locations. And you just see this carries on. And on and on. And on and on. And on. Until we get to the end. 10 years. And then we see after 10 years what the primary networks are going to be making each month. $6,000. That's perfectly reasonable. Considering 10 years of it's going to be 10 years, about 100 websites supporting just the one. It's not going to make 6,000. It's not 6,000, is it? 6 million. What is it? Large primary networks. Let's have a look at what that figure is. Sum of E12 to EW12 do this. Yeah, that's what it is. This is the monthly amount they're making, I think. Let's go back. Yeah, that's how much they're making a month. Yeah, so I was pretty much right. Okay, sorry for the technical hitch there. Yeah, that's what they're making, which is perfectly reasonable. But there's 93 of them, so that makes that. Check that, yeah. And that's over a year. So, okay, that's how much the primary networks make it over a year. And we see what the rest of them make. And that ends up at 24 million after tax. After VAT, not after tax. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is the programmers needed to do this. There's a slight error in this that I noticed when I looked at this earlier, in that I overcalculated. So the errors on the side of caution, it's not an error. Basically, if you look here, we've got 9 certified programmers and 8 senior programmers. And if we look here, where is it? Programmers 9 and 8, okay, accounted for out of India. The good people that done all we've done so far. And, you know, we may have to move to India to make this happen. But you see, we've also included the salaries for programmers working from the UK. So we've doubled up on the programming costs. So, you know, at least it's not an error going the other way. It's an error that basically means our costs are actually lower than what we've put. But, you know, that's just more for that other department. Okay, so systems architect, PHP planner, manager, senior PHP programmer. These are creating APIs. Various other systems being built. We're going to actually put more effort into this. Whether it comes to this, we're probably not going to rebuild it. We're going to use the existing technologies and just merge them well together. But what we haven't reported for here is we're a bit light on the amount of WordPress designers. We'll be wanting a lot more of those. And we can see that this goes each year, and each year there's more. Now there's 35 programmers, plus the programmers in the UK, and then we got 53 programmers. And all these figures here, these amount of programmers, they correlate to, I think it's here, yeah, 24 a month. That's 24. That's a correlation, and that's the amount of new websites that can be made with 48 programmers, I think. You see here, 12 programmers a month. 12 networks can be programmed in a month, rather. Okay, let's get back. So there we go. But let's have a look at the costs. Okay. Yeah, it's whopping. Great big spreadsheet. Pretty accurate costs. I think not for the directors. Directors are going to want more. I'm going to want more. Managing director, financial manager, general operations manager, systems architect, PHP manager, PHP programmer, times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. WordPress programmer, graphic designer, senior web designer, senior WordPress designer, network sales manager, SEO marketer, social networks manager, content marketing manager, copywriting manager, virtual assistants, marketing manager, PA, junior accountant, fitter sales manager, salesperson, customer service, network salesperson, receptionist, human resources, PPC manager, that's pay-per-click, magazine planner, magazine copywriter, magazine graphic designer, network liaison officer, and then we go down to our outsourced department. There's a little bit for office expenses there. In India, we've got 9 certified programmers and 8 senior programmers, 5 designers, 8 copywriters, 8 virtual assistants. Experience Africa, we've changed that plan now. Purchasing domain names, £150,000. Purchasing websites that have good domain names, other 250. Year 1 costs, and that's the year 1 costs. And as we go through, obviously everything increases because we've got more. We go up to here, and we've got the same structure. Everyone's paid a bit more. We go up. We don't want to lose anybody, so we make sure we give them at least 10% a year. But here we got 4 accountants, 4 junior accountants, 15 salespeople, 5 in customer service. That's actually changed now. We probably won't have hardly any salespeople. The sales will all be done via the networks, but we will have a whopping great big bunch of customer service people. This is, I think, budgeted for a little bit later, but not as much as I would like. That said, the live chat working from the Philippines is a great way of not doing one-on-one customer service, but us being there for a client immediately and being able to then phone around and look, if one network's not available, another one will, and they'll dovetail. That's the beauty of having 5 different companies who are working in a way together. If you've got a breakdown of one company, sometimes 2 or 3 key people could be ill, someone could be on a holiday, and customer service just takes a dip for that time. If there's an emergency, there's no one to deal with it. By dovetailing off the other groups, that is solved. Network salesperson, receptionist, times 4. And 23 certified programmers, 15 senior programmers, 24 standard programmers, 40 designers, 40 copywriters, 40 virtual assistants, 40 customer service. This would now have more copywriters, and actually the virtual assistants and copywriters would be doing the same job. So I guess that's fair enough. That would be 80. Customer service 40. Not bad. Not bad. And that's the costs. And then I just increased the cost by 15%. Actually, in the last one, I thought we'd have run out of networks to build, so I lost a few programmers, but it's not going to stop at year 10. It'll just carry on. Okay, nearly at the end. I get to go for a nice walk soon. Really looking forward to that. This weekend has just been solid work on this presentation. You may not tell it from the hour or something that you've read, but this took a long time to prepare. Watched rather. Okay, this is very important to follow. So this is very important to follow it fully. Please scroll down. The figures you see below sum up the cost and income of the previous spreadsheets and present a profit and loss. Okay, so we've got our income here, we've got our costs here, and you see obviously we're making a big loss here, we're making a big loss here. We're not making that big a loss. Here we're breaking even, but we're still at a loss because of all time profit and loss. Here we're making profit, and here only in this year 7, do we start to really get going. And that's fine if it's me doing it my way, but no investor's going to be happy with that. It's quite possible we're not going to go for investment. I don't know. You know, the way things are shaping up, it's not necessarily needed, and the money that the investors were going to pay could just go back to give half back. That could just go into good causes, and therefore we could register Villa Secrets as a potential not-for-profit company, make more money that way, keeps us more efficient, no tax to pay. Okay, however, these figures here did not include some major income streams. It did not include... Hang on. However, we did not include... Below is the adjusted forecast. Oh, okay. Okay, look, here's the adjusted forecast. This is what we had, making 47 million. This makes 230 million. And we're going to see how this, why this is so on this spreadsheet, this page. Okay, 1. Network will increase due to repeat bookings and referrals, especially now that we have got a very, very good understanding, although we haven't made it yet, of how to make a really, truly awesome email system, especially as that email system can, you know, every email that comes to any inquiry to any company across the network, that's an email address for us to use for anyone else in the network. So, you know, we're not going to bombard people. That's just going to put people off. But, you know, people are going to get emails and they're going to be very efficient. Plus, you know, good customer service, 24-hour live chat, you know, having good villas, we're going to get a lot of good repeat business. They say it's 10 times cheaper to keep a customer than to make a new one. So if that's so, then this 15% is well below what it should be. But for caution, we've kept it at 15%. 2. The effects of Villa Secrets and Villa Clouds on our ability to secure sole mandates. The original American Butterfly. Let's have a look at him. Not American Butterfly. Villa Secrets. Business plan. Where is it? Contact us. No. About us. About us. Where has it gone? Villa Secrets. There he is. Hidden away. Golly gosh. Anyway, look, I'm not going to bore you with it, but the original plan was most of the money was going to come from securing mandates. So when we're saying 25% a year, you know, especially as we're, you know, working with real estate agents who are really going to be interested in getting those mandates for sale, you know, 25% a year is perfectly reasonable. So we've added 40%. But if you remember our last, we haven't got it here, if we remember our last video, we talked about the law of diminishing returns. After a network has reached 20% of the market share in its location, we will only ever increase its potential profit in projections by 5% a year, which is basically inflation, because of market forces. You know, the reason, and you can see how this has been applied here. We're applying the increase, this 40% increase each year. But when we get to here, when we get to year 8, we've stopped. We're only accounting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of that increase. After that, we don't account for it. There, we don't account for it. Okay, increase due to increased size of networks. For the cloud, which is our property management system, can increase the network from its original 1,815 by a lot more. We now, you know, we saw 4,084 networks in the final projection, but there's a lot more to make than that. So because of that, there's an increase of 125%. If you're doubling the amount, you should at least increase by that amount. And that changes the income to this. Additional expansion starts in year 3. We don't start that until year 3. And you can see how that changes things. Increase in the amount of networks. We can see how that changes that. And all these figures, anyone's got any disagreement, I'll send you the spreadsheet. You can change it, make your own spreadsheet, give it back to me. Increase due to property sales. Now, some estate agents are going to say, you know what? We make a lot more out of property sales than we do rentals, and this 25% there could be a lot more. And you know, that's let's hope that's the case. Let's hope it makes more. Hurrah! Yeah, we put 25% in, so that's a 25% increase there. Increase to cover the costs of the increased network size. Factor that in here. Obviously, again, starting from year 3, that's when the increase happens. We've basically increased it by the same factor. Increase to provide world-class service platform from year 4. That's an increase of 30%. That's a whopping, great big amount of money spent on customer service. And yeah, a lot of them are going to be content writers in their spare time. So you can just imagine the extra marketing value of that. Okay, here's the adjusted income. Cost, profit and loss. Okay. For the law of diminishing returns, as well as not including these figures, we've looked at our overall figures, and for the sake of cautions, we've just made some deductions. Year 6, 5%. I think that's there. Where is it? There. Yeah, you see that. 95%, 90%, 85%, 80%, 75%. That's just for the law. There's a better way to program this. In fact, this needs to be programmed. This needs to be a PHP application. Just to do these calculations, you know, this is very rough, albeit more complex than 99.999% of any spreadsheet anyone's ever seen before, but still not good enough. But you know, we can see we've got a rough idea. Okay, investment. Final shed spreadsheet looks at investment. Analysing the profit and loss figures, we see this model goes about 10 million in the red. Allowing for unknowns, 12 million seems an appropriate figure. 25% possibly from Virgin, 50% possibly from the 16 leading innovators and brands within the vacation rental industry and real estate industries. Makes sense to be owned by the people we want to work with. If Virgin or a Microsoft or Google were to invest $4 million, their 10-year dividend total, including the law of diminishing returns, but not including the fact that our whole product offering is a lot better now. You know, we're now selling the franchises for one, and each is not just one website. Each is like 10 websites with, you know, lost leaders amongst them. You know, there's a lot more. These figures really should be on the low side compared to what is possible. So that's a pretty good return. 25%. Oh yes, okay, that's the total return. That's the return 4 million would get. That's a 2,233% return. average ROI of 223. To put that into perspective, the average ROI if you buy a house, which most people think is the best investment you can do, you get 7%. So investing in this at this stage is well, it's about 60 times better, isn't it? 6, 12, 18, 7, 14, 21, 70 times better than investing. No, sorry. God, let's just do it. Look, it's good, isn't it? You know, it's good. And as we've said before, um, this is based on old material. We're a lot better than this now, and we don't necessarily need the investment at all. You know, we'll see how the next. As soon as we sell that franchise, then we can take on double staff. You know, and we can double our speed. We can make 5 big networks in year one. And then maybe then, you know, I don't know. Who knows what the future holds? You know, maybe we'll all just be doing Experience Africa and saving the world that way. Maybe someone will see the vision in American Butterfly. Maybe we'll be working on that. I'm not giving any financial forecasts for the first franchise that we're looking to sell, because we have yet to see the return from the websites that we're currently making. Once we know that, we can make it average. But $50,000 it costs. They get $1 million in development, and they'll certainly make that and a lot more in their first year. Okay, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and I am looking forward to my walk. Thank you. Anybody who's got through this, sorry I could not be more succinct about everything, but I don't have much time to do this. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye.